All right. Bye-bye. Start the room. Okay, hello everybody. This is Nicole with Live with eCom Sellers. I actually was supposed to go live about 2 hours ago, but I got started working in my business and just completely lost track of time. So I'm sorry that we are late, but I'm going to go ahead and get after today. So this is the weekly ecom planning session because it's officially Saturday. Happy Small Business Saturday to everybody. So today's topic is preparing for the busiest 4 weeks that are coming up. So Cyber Monday through New Year's, because Black Friday has already happened. So we're in Small Business Saturday. There's still an opportunity for you to go ahead and take advantage of, getting some sales, getting some traffic. Get going this morning. If you have, post on your social media, what you got going on, what you're offering, what you're sharing. I had to go ahead and take some medication. So sorry about that. So my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that is you, you're going to be given the opportunity to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session and the weekly ecom planning session with our topic for today. This is a continuation of our whole Black Friday series. So you can download our daily ecom planning checklist by going into the eCommerce Planning Facebook group. Once you go to the eCommerce Planning Facebook group, you can click on Files. And then once you click on Files, you can download the daily, the weekly, and the monthly planning checklist and use those PDFs to follow along later on after we go through what to do for the next busiest weeks. So when I say busiest weeks, let's just talk about it. What I'm talking about is after Black Friday. I mean, just that whole weekend, we just kind of merge Black Friday and Cyber Monday together, and we just say, I think they just like BFCM, so Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and those 4 days that go along with that, which is Black Friday, of course, on Friday, Saturday, Small Business Saturday, that's today, yay. Sunday is Secondhand Sunday. All right, awesome sauce for those resellers that are doing the big reselling of previously owned items. And then Monday is Cyber Monday. And so typically the sales, the promotions, there might be something that's specific for Black Friday, and there might be some specific offerings that are specific to Cyber Monday. And of course, small businesses, all of you should be sharing something on your wall, even if it's a toy that you're selling that's on your Amazon, one of your listings. Like, you should be sharing something on your social media today. But in any case, that busiest window, the reason why it's the busiest window is because of the 10 busiest shopping days of the year, 9 of them fall between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Since Black Friday is off the table, now you've got 8 of them remaining. So if you didn't think you had the opportunity to make some money, there's still an opportunity out there for you to make some money in your e-commerce business. So the first thing I'd recommend that you do, and again, we're live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. On Clubhouse, we're inside of the eCom Sellers Club. So if you go to Clubhouse, we're in the eCom Sellers Club. Number 1 is to list. Even if you're getting a late start. Let's say today you're like, okay, I'm going to go list something. Go list. Definitely go list. Your 8 busiest shopping days are still yet to come. So that includes today. So let's make it happen. Get out there, go list your stuff. Make sure that you have it on your social media. Whatever you need to do, you can go back and look at our Black Friday series so that you know what you need to do. But you need to be listing. That's the only way you're going to start getting some of the sales and the traction that you've been wanting to get in your business. So that's number 1. Number 2 is to go check your ads stats. Maybe you are running ads. Maybe you're not running ads. I have no idea. But if you've got any level of promotions, campaigns, deals that you're offering, you got Google ads going, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever, TikTok ads, go check and see what they're doing. Stay on top of that for the next couple of weeks. Maybe you have to tweak it. Maybe you only had a budget for this 4-day window, or maybe you have a budget that's specific to specific days inside of this 4-week window. I have no idea. But Stay on top of your ad stats for the next 4 weeks. Okay. Make sure you know where you stand or whatever you're, paying for your ad spend so that you are hopefully getting your big bang for your buck. Number 3 is to monitor your inventory levels. That's something you should be always doing anyway. So monitor your inventory levels just to make sure that you are where you feel like you should be. Monitor those levels, and maybe you have a backup plan or an alternate strategy that you kind of put together, your plan B or your backup plan, where your inventory levels might be running low, and put together your strategy. And as you're thinking about inventory, also be thinking about, you have the Chinese New Year that's going to be happening after the holidays are over. If you didn't already place your inventory, go ahead and place your orders now if you didn't think about that already. Number 4 is to focus on your 4-week game plan. Hopefully you put together a game plan on what your goals and your strategies are going to be, on the number of listings, what your inventory, what you're going to be focusing on to sell, what platforms you're going to cross a list onto, whatever it was, the amount of hours you plan on working in your business. I do encourage people that during this window that they increase the number of hours that they invest in their business. So if you're a person that typically works 10 hours every single week in your e-commerce business in quarter 1, 2, and 3, in quarter 4, you may want to double that and increase it to 20 hours. So again, stay with your game plan. Stick with it. Stay on top of it. Whatever your game plan happens to be, stay on top of your game plan and your strategy that you put together. And if you didn't put together a schedule or a game plan, go put one together so that you can hopefully get some success over the next 4 weeks and beyond. Number 5, revisit your listings. So there's going to be listings that are 100% Christmas focused, and then there may be some listings where you have the opportunity to tweak them so that they could become New Year's focused or Valentine's Day focused. Like it's not just a specific holiday or any other holiday in between. Maybe you're planning on offering some kind of special deal for New Year's on specific listings, and maybe you're going to offer some last minute flash deals just before Christmas, or maybe you're going to offer some deals for Martin Luther King holiday in January. So again, looking at your listings, looking at how they're worded, what the verbiage is, what the focus is, who's the gift for, or who's it's intended for, what the intended use of that product, could it potentially be used for multiple things? Keep that in mind as you pull together, or make adjustments to your listings. Number 6 is to think about your future account reconciliation needs. You're going to be doing some bank reconciliation coming up. You're going to be doing some account reconciliation on the platforms that you sell on, and also inventory reconciliation. And, you want to make sure you have all your receipts. You've been keeping track of any mileage, going back and forth to the post office, going out and grabbing Black Friday deals. Make sure that you have everything you need from a bookkeeping, accounting, account reconciliation standpoint, that you're keeping track of that stuff. Typically first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, maybe you only have about 100 sheets of paper. Not that you want to keep paper, maybe you have digital invoices or whatever. And during Q4, that just goes up exponentially. Maybe it's 200 invoices or whatever it happens to be. So just make sure that you are doing everything to make your life a whole lot easier before the end of the year when it comes to taxes and accounting and reconciliation and bookkeeping and all of that fun stuff. Start keeping that in mind, maybe spending 5 minutes every day just to put things into the right folder or move documents over or download them or whatever it happens to be, or note your mileage, just 5 minutes every day so that it will not be a nightmare to do your taxes or any other level of reconciliation that you need to do. And number 7, stay on top of your fulfillment needs and or shipping. If you are working with, or you have an integration in place, maybe you're doing drop shipping, you should be monitoring to make sure that shipments are going out. Somebody should be monitoring it. If you're not doing it, make sure you have a family member or your VA. Go confirm that the shipments are going out as expected. If you're doing print on demand, again, just double check that you close the loop on shipments that are supposed to be going out, because that is the one thing. That was one of the 3 things that we talked about in yesterday's session about Black Friday stats and Black Friday and Cyber Monday stats, is that people want free shipping, fast shipping, And of course, they want deals. But free shipping and fast shipping is so important. And when people don't feel like they're getting something or they're going to get something fast enough and they have to contact you, they're already looking for a backup replacement or a secondary source. They're going to cancel their order with you and then you're going to be pissed off. So you should be staying on top of whether or not your shipments are going out automatically as expected. If you're using a 3PL or you're using another fulfillment center like Deliver or whatever, just double check to make sure the shipments are going out as expected, or Amazon FBA. Make sure that you close the loop on all the sales that you're getting, and then it's not a surprise. And if you're shipping yourself, make sure you don't run out of shipping supplies. Make sure that you've blocked off time again in your schedule that you built for the game plan, that you built time into shipping out products, that they go out to your customers in a timely manner. All these things are going to help you to be able to retain your money. It's an income retaining activity, okay? Because you've already hopefully gotten the sale and you've already maybe in some cases gotten paid, maybe not, depending on the platform that you sell on. So you want to retain that money, and the best way to do that is to make sure you're doing fast shipping, or you're monitoring whoever is doing the shipping for you to confirm that it actually went out on time. All right. So I hope this is helpful. You can definitely let people know about the Black Friday series. Come back and listen to it yourself, or plug people in to our daily ecom planning session so that they have the opportunity to be able to change what's happening in their business or improve it in any kind of ways. So go back and look at this entire series, make a note to be able to watch this like in Q3 or into Q2, so that these are all things that you will keep in mind and be top of mind for next year. So with that, I do invite you to turn up the dial on your business and get laser focused. I encourage you to grab the 2023 My Ecom Planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. It is the ultimate e-commerce planner. So you can go to myecomplanner.com right now to grab it. Again, go to myecomplanner.com right now to grab it. It's 1 M instead of 2, so ECOM, and myecomplanner.com to get your 2023 planner and get prepared for success in 2023. I do encourage you to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session if you feel like you need the time to talk about your business, talk about where you are, what's happening in your business, your journey, what's not happening, what you want to improve, what you want to change. You can go to ecomsellers.com, ECOM sellers, SELLERS.com to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by clicking on free resources. So go to ecomsellers.com, click on free resources, and schedule your free 20-minute coaching session. And I do invite you also to get some support on your e-commerce journey. Join eCom Sellers Academy. It's terribly affordable. You can sign up for the lifetime and get a free 2023 physical planner by signing up today. So if you go to ecomsellers.com, sign up for the lifetime, and get the free 2023 ecom planner, or you can also sign up for the monthly. It's $17.99 a month, and it's terribly affordable. So with that, we're ready to go through the monthly planning checklist. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to get through this planning checklist in 30 minutes. Normally it's about an hour, so I apologize for that. But try to knock this out in 30 minutes because the monthly planning session is different. Sorry, the weekly planning session is different than the daily. The daily is roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. And so the weekly is about 45 minutes to an hour. Try to knock it out in 30 minutes. That way we can hop over on Clubhouse and talk about your business. So after going through the checklist, you can, if you want to do an accountability check-in, if you want to talk about what's happening in your business, you want to talk about what you got going on for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, let's go talk about it. Go over to Clubhouse, jump into the eCom Sellers Club, and let's talk about your business. So with that, and if you haven't already done so, share this out with a friend. Let somebody know about the daily, weekly, and the monthly ecom planning sessions. We are getting together tomorrow for the monthly planning session because it's the 27th. And it's the end of the month. All right. So with that, the first thing I do want to encourage you to do is go grab a notebook if you haven't already done so, or we're going to be able to do a brain dump, and we can do that brain dump of information, thoughts, ideas, we can dump that directly into like a Google Sheet. So you can log into your Gmail account. Once you log into your Gmail account, next to your initial on the upper right hand side are 9 dots. You can click on those 9 dots and then you can go to Drive. It's going to be a triangle that's like yellow, red, orange, and green. And I think blue is in there somewhere. It might not be orange. I think it's red. But in any case, it's a triangle and it says Drive. Click on Drive. And then once you click on Drive, a new window is going to open up. You go over to the left-hand side, click on the plus. Plus is also multicolored. So it's yellow, red, blue, and green. Click on that and then click on Google Sheets. Google Sheets is like using Excel. So it's easy to use, maybe. And we're going to just do a brain dump into a Google Sheet. We're going to dump out some ideas, some thoughts, some things that I'm going to mention so that way you can put together a game plan that's going to work for you and your e-commerce business. So go over to Google Sheets and you can do this all online. Once you open up a Google Sheet, it's going to be green. It looks like a spreadsheet or Google Excel spreadsheet. We're going to fill in some columns going down vertically. And then that's going to be tab number 1 or sheet number 1. So if you look at the very, 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 very bottom of the Google Sheet, it will say sheet 1. If you click on the small plus in the lower left-hand side, it's a small plus, then you can get sheet number 2. So sheet number 1, if you click on those words, sheet, and you right click on it, you can rename that from sheet 1 to brain dump, or you can name it something else if you don't want to use the word brain dump. And then sheet number 2, which is right next to it, if you right click on the words, then you can rename that to your template or your schedule. So we're going to build what we're going to do is first we're going to do a brain dump of ideas, thoughts, things that are happening in our business or things that we want to happen in our business. Number 2, we're going to go through the exercise of filling in some information about if these are things that are happening in our business, when are they happening, or in our life. I do say business, but this is all about building an inclusive kind of schedule, long-term, bigger picture. So it's not just about your business, it's also about your life. And then number 3, we're going to, on the template page, once we do this brain dump in this first part of this journey, we're going to, on sheet 2, put together a template. And then from there, we're going to use that template to build our actual schedule of the things we're going to be doing in those, time blocks, maybe. So you may do time blocks, you may do checklists. Let's talk about it. The first thing is in your Google Sheet or on your notebook. So if you're using a notebook, you probably need a couple of sheets. You're going to have one sheet that you're going to name things that you already are doing in your life and in your business. If you're already doing some things in your life and your business and you're very, very, very consistent about it, then we're going to make a note of those because those are things that we are committed to. And you're going to have dedicated time that you're not going to allow to bleed into anything else. So that first column, if you're using a Google Sheet, in column A1, these are things you already do. These are things you already do in your life and in your business. So A1 is things you already do. Then column B1 and C1 at the top is going to be which day in which you do them, if you're already doing these things, and when are you doing the time or the time of day in which you're already doing these things. Okay. So that's what's going on column A, B, and C, 1. Then we're going to do D, E, and F. Column D is going to be things that you must or need to do. These are things that you need to do in your life and or things that you really need to be doing in your business. Like creating listings matter because if you don't create listings, you really don't have a business. That's facts. So you have to create a listing. The product has to exist somewhere out there in the universe. So in column D1, you'll put things that you need to do. These are things that you're not consistently doing. You're not already doing them. Maybe you're randomly or haphazardly doing them. And these are things that are going to move the needle in your business. And these can also be things that are going to change or improve your life in a positive way. So in that need column, we're going to go vertically down again. So column D is things that you need to be doing. Column E and F are going to be which day are you needing to do them. And we're not going to fill that in just yet. And then column F is going to be which time or time of day do you feel like this is the best time to do this thing, whatever it happens to be. And then the last one, so we did A, B, C, D, E, F. Now we're going to do G, H, and I. G1, H1, I1. Okay. So G is going to be things that you really want to do, things you want to do, that you want to change, you want to improve. You want to start doing these things. They may be not considered need, but they are important. And so these are things you want to do either in your business or you want to start doing in your life. So need to start doing, want to start doing, that goes into column G1. And then H and I are going to be the day in which you feel like this is the best place to put this. And I is going to be the time in which you feel it could be the time of day or the time. So now that we've kind of got these columns identified, if you're using a notebook, you can have one page that says things that you're already doing. Then the next sheet can be things that you need to start doing. And then the next sheet can be things that you want to start doing. And then the last sheet is going to be for your template. Okay. So page 4 will be for your template. Now, when I say things that we're already doing, if you're already consistently on a regular basis without fail creating listings, then write that down. These are things you're already doing. If you're already on a consistent basis going out there to check to see if you've got sales or shipments that need to go out, and you're very like, I have dedicated time and I always do it on a consistent basis, then write down that. If you are already getting up in the morning and you're exercising or you're going to the gym, write that down, because that's time that is serving your life and your business well. And we don't want to change that. We want to keep everything that is helping us to be the best version of ourselves or reducing the stress in our lives. Like if going to the gym in the morning helps you to manage your stress for the rest of the day, by all means, keep it on your agenda. Okay. If one of the things that you do is you get up in the morning and you read your Bible and you meditate on the word, then that's a great thing. And if you feel like that's serving your life well, then put that on your list. These are all things that you're already doing, and you don't want to stop doing them because they're helping your business or they're helping your life. Okay. Helping you to balance it all, because it is all a juggling act. Okay. So go through that list and just do a massive brain dump of things that you are consistently. Here's the key. The word consistently is the key to this entire thing. If you are not consistent about it, then it doesn't go in the already do column. It goes in the things you need to do or things that you want to do column. That's where it goes. All right. So if you're inconsistent about it, probably should put it under the want column. These are things I want to start doing. I'm doing them, but I'm not consistent about it. So I need to put it under the want column. Versus I need to start doing these because these are income producing things that are going to improve my business, or I really need to do them because it's going to help me manage my stress, lower my blood pressure, reduce my chances of diabetes, or whatever it happens to be, or help you not to murder your kids. I'm just being funny there. Then definitely, put that on your need. An example of things that you might need to do is improve your morning routine or your evening routine. Maybe you are spending all your life yelling at your kids and you've been consistently doing it, and now your kids are very jumpy. So you just want to be a better parent long term. So one of the things that you might put down that you need to start doing is you need to fix your morning routine, or you need to fix your evening routine, because you don't want kids that are jumpy for the rest of their lives. It's just an example, okay? Or maybe your stress level is so high you feel like I need to start walking every single day no matter what, or I need to drink more water every single day no matter what. This is going to improve my life, and it's going to improve my everything else. It's going to contribute positively to my life. Okay. So already do, need to do, and want to do. So let me give you some ideas, because I kind of rattled off a couple, but let's just go down the rabbit hole. When it comes to your life, again, what are the things from a life standpoint, maybe spiritual related things or religion? Like maybe one of the things that you go do is you go to church every Sunday, and or something you want to start being more consistent about is going to church on Sunday, or whatever your religion is. then you want to make sure that you put that down, because we're going to build a template so that that becomes a dedicated time block that you're committing to being consistent about. All right. Maybe there's some other personal things, like you feel like you need to start journaling. Journaling, you feel like it's going to reduce your stress or help you to manage things better, and that's fine. Write that down. Maybe it's not journaling, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's going to talk with a mental health professional because there's just a lot going on. I mean, look, the last 2.5, 3 years has really done a doozy on a lot of people, including myself. So it's okay to put that down as something you really want to start doing. It's okay. Financial. Maybe you're not consistent about reconciling your bank account at the end of the week or the end of the month or even at the end of the day. Maybe you're dealing with a whole bunch of overdrafts. And so now you want to get to a place in your life like, I'm not going to have overdrafts for 2023. I want to start building that habit right now, being consistent about balancing my budget. Okay, that's a personal, and you're going to put that down under financial. Or maybe you need to, do some other things. You've got to get more consistent about getting into the doctor and making sure that you get that annual physical done or follow up on some stuff. And you've just been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. So you want to make sure you have committed time. An example to that might be, you have allergies and you've been meaning to start the process of getting allergy shots on a regular basis. Put that down. Put it down. If they've already given you a suggested time, then put that down as well. But let's just write it down. Fitness. Maybe you've been wanting to be consistent about exercise and really not fall off the wagon after the beginning of the year. Or maybe you want to eat better. Again, these are things maybe you want to start doing, or maybe these are things that you feel like you need to start doing because you're at a critical place. So putting that down. Family and household. Maybe you don't have an established routine with your kids, and maybe you need to build one, or you want to build one. So that may be something. Maybe you're not consistent about checking your kids' grades, or you're not consistent about making sure that you have committed family time. You feel like these are things that you really need to do or you really want to do. Okay. Or maybe you do have committed family time. Maybe Friday night is movie night for you guys, and that is committed time. So if it's already committed time, let's keep it. Put it on there as things that you already do. All right. So that's from a life standpoint. Now let's get into the business stuff. Sourcing. Again, thinking about long-term, bigger picture. Are you really consistent about the way you're doing sourcing? If you are, fantastic. Put it under already do. Are you dealing with replens or consumables? You have doing drop shipping? Are you creating ordering stuff from a wholesale supplier? Are you buying or ordering? Using white label products where you're going to put your brand on it. So again, are you thinking about the upcoming holidays or seasonal things or events? We're going into officially winter. So we're still technically in the fall, believe it or not. So thinking about those things from a sourcing standpoint, should you be considering from a sourcing standpoint for the next 2 to 20 weeks? I mentioned earlier about Chinese New Year. So during that window, depending on who your suppliers are, you may not be able to get some inventory because all the manufacturing plants are going to be shut down for a period of time. Sourcing is probably something you ought to be thinking about. All right. Research, product research, listing research, keyword research. Do you currently have dedicated time in which you do those things? Or are you not doing those things? Do you feel like this is something you need to do or you want to do? I feel like product research is important. Maybe you're doing a thin veiled version of product research or a thin veiled version of keyword research or, whatever. Then maybe you want to improve that and get a little better at it. Listing related activities. Maybe you're very inconsistent about listing right now, or maybe you are very militant about listing and extremely consistent. I have no idea. But if you're consistent about it, you have dedicated time. I create X number of listings every single day, no matter what. Put that under the stuff you already do. If you are very random, haphazard, you really don't even know if you have a true e-commerce business, and listing is really going to change what happens in the future, then definitely put that down as something you need to start doing. Or you're listing, but you're very random about it. And so maybe it's something you want to get better at. Okay. Shipping, whether you're fulfilling the orders yourself or whether you're using a fulfillment center, Amazon, FBA, or whether you're using WFS, Walmart Fulfillment Services, or using a third-party shipping service or supplier, fulfillment, or prep center. Again, maybe these are things like you're very consistent about or you're not consistent at all. Consistency is the key to this whole conversation. Confirming your shipments if you're not the one that's physically touching the products, or auditing to make sure that the shipments went out and confirming that. Again, do you have a process in place, or do you just assume and then 10 weeks later you got like 12 requests for returns because you never went out there to confirm that the shipments actually went out on their own? Something to think about. Okay. Administrative activities. As we are getting closer to the end of the month, there's going to be some administrative activities. I'm not going to say you're going to do them all in November. More than likely, you're probably going to do them at the end of December. You might combine the activities that you do for November and December into one, because November is just so busy, because you might be doing a lot of shipments over the next couple of days. So reconciling accounts may not be the thing that you have time to do. But in any case, here's some of the administrative activities that you could consider. So some of them are running your platform reports. Maybe you need to do those things. Filing your taxes, doing your bank reconciliation or your account reconciliation, balancing your budget or even establishing a budget, tracking your expenses, your receipts, ordering inventory, checking your expiration dates, auditing inventory, creating your standard operating procedures if you plan on outsourcing to a VA, reviewing or adjusting your prices, analyzing your data, looking at your stats. These are all things that maybe from an administrative standpoint are part of being a business owner. Okay. But in order to do any of that, you got to have listings that people are buying in order for the rest of this to even work out. So what administrative tasks did I just rattle off that you're like, I'm not really doing that, or I need to start doing that? Well, I want to start doing it. Oh, I'm very consistent about that. Then customer service, handling questions, returns, refunds, dealing with reviews. This is that time of the year. You probably want to stay on top of that a little bit more right now than any other time, because those can help you to get more sales. Okay. So what's your process right now? Do you have a process in place for dealing with customer inquiries? Yes, no, maybe. Maybe you want to. Maybe you're random about it. Maybe you notice the inquiry 2 weeks later and go, oh, crap, I could have got that sale. So again, do you have a process in place? Maybe, maybe not. So go through and look at that. And then education. I'm going to harp on education as we go through the year end. Education is, what are the things you want to do better? You want to understand better, things that you want to, skills you want to develop or learn, knowledge you want to, make sure that you learn. What are those things? Let's write all those things down, things that you want to learn. And then your marketing, your traffic related activities, things on running your listings through Ping or Ping Farm. Are you consistent about that or no? Sharing your listings onto social media, or maybe you have a blog that you're selling products on. Maybe you're doing affiliate marketing, so you're never really physically touching any of the products. Paid ads, campaigns, email marketing, video marketing. Even if it's TikTok videos or Instagram Reels videos, those shorts, or YouTube shorts, any of those. Optimizing your listing, making sure that you're doing what you can to drive more organic traffic to your listing. Engaging influencers, doing promotions, ads, coupons, sales, flash deals, all of that. Are you consistent about that? Are you inconsistent about that? Do you have a process in place? Are you random about that right now? So everything that I named and listed should go under one of those columns that I talked about before. Once you go through and you start filling in those columns, or you're filling in your notebook sheets or whatever it happens to be, now it's time to take that information from that brain dump, and we're going to start filling in those other two columns that are next to them. So for the things you already do, when you already do them, already what time of day you do them, or what time you actually do them. So write that down, fill in those two columns. So that's column B and C. For things that you need to start doing or things that you want to start doing, you're going to have to fill in column E and F and column H and I. You're probably going to mix and match this, move some things around, change it, edit it, whatever, but start filling in when you think this might be the best time of day to do it, or which this might be the best day to do it, whether it's something you're going to do multiple times. Like creating listings should be an activity you're doing every single day, no matter what. Checking for shipments should be something you're doing every single day, no matter what. So are you doing that now, or are you not doing that right now? Something to think about. And then also the time of day in which you think you're going to be doing these. So there might be a set time that you're like, you know what, 3:00 is a perfect window for me to do this activity. Or you may say mornings, afternoons, and evenings is a great time for me to be able to do these things. Whatever that looks like, let's go through that process and fill in those other columns, knowing that you're going to make adjustments to it. You're going to change it. You're going to edit it. You're going to remove some stuff. Once you've kind of written some stuff in there, and you can always come back and fill that in later. The other thing is some of the things that you wrote down are going to become what we call mini habits or mini goals. These are things where you're executing repetition over and over again. You maybe start off with your goal might have been to create no less than 10 listings every single day, no matter what. But you got to start off small because you don't have the habit of consistency around creating listings. So what you might do is, as a starter goal, you might put down, and maybe this is not the window to do it, so maybe it's later, but as a starting goal, you might say, okay, I'm going to create 2 listings every single day, no matter what, or I'm going to create 1 listing every single day, no matter what. And then you go from creating 1 listing every day to creating for 2 weeks, maybe 1 week. And then you go to 3 listings every single day, no matter what. From 3, you hop up to 5 listings every single day for maybe 2 weeks, no matter what. And then you hop from 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and you do that consistently every single week, every 2 weeks or whatever. And that will help you to build up the stamina of consistency, the routine of consistency, so that when a day comes that you're not creating a listing at all, it feels weird. Something's off. What's wrong with today? And that's because you've built the routine, the habit of consistency around creating listings. Even if it only ends up being 1 listing a day, you know that you feel weird going to bed without creating at least 1 listing. So work on building that habit of consistency, and you can gradually build that up. And that's what a mini habit or mini goal is, something that's easily attainable. You're not going to set a big giant, like, oh, we're going to start off right off the bat, 10 listings. Nope. We're going to just start with 1. The same thing with like a personal thing. Maybe you are not drinking enough water, or maybe you're not going to bed on time, or maybe you're not walking and getting some exercise. Start off with a simple goal. Walk for 5 minutes every single day for a week. Then increase it to 10 minutes every single day for a week. Then increase it to 15 minutes every single day for a week. And what ends up happening, whatever your goal is, maybe your goal was 30 minutes. Then you gradually built up over time the habit of consistency around walking, so that when you don't walk, even if it's only for 5 minutes, it feels weird. Something's off. Okay. So those are many habits and many goals. Habit stacking is more thinking about in general terms of a routine, things that logically go together in sequential order. So I'm going to use the example of maybe you're a person, you get up every single morning, you get your cup of coffee, and you read the Bible. Is there something else that you could be doing that's either in your walk path or in your thought path that you needed to tie to or connect to that routine of getting up and getting your coffee and reading your Bible? So if one of the things that you're not doing consistently is you feel like you need to stretch, I would get the blood flow going, or you need to take a cold shower or whatever, maybe you tack on to the beginning or the end of that activity is that, you know what, after I'm done reading my Bible, I'm going to go take my shower. Or before I read my Bible, I am going to actually stretch and do some breathing exercises and then settle into my chair and read my Bible. So routines that you're already you're not doing them consistently, you're not doing them in a logical sequential order. And so it's something that you can add to an existing activity that you're doing where they logically go together. Another example might be your shipping related activity or your listing related activity. Maybe you are creating listings, but the process to create your listings is just all over the scoreboard. It's not organized, it's not structured, doesn't flow. And so you create a habit stack or a routine around listings. Maybe what you do is, if you're a person that's doing retail arbitrage, when you come in, maybe one of the things that you do is you put all of your products in the same spot no matter what. Okay. Maybe you take pictures of them right then, so you already have the pictures no matter what. Maybe one of the things that you do, if you don't do that, is that, again, you do the keyword research. So some of the things that I do is, like, before I put an item into my cart, I actually already have done a little bit of preliminary keyword research. I already know how it's going to be shipped. And I've also got my good estimated price in which I'm potentially going to sell it for. And these are things that I've already thought about. Okay. Things that I've already thought about that I'm already doing. Okay. One of the things that you might do, again, as part of that process, is to, look at your routine around listings to see where you have holes or where things don't flow, so that you can start to reorganize and restructure. Instead of spending 2 hours to create 2 listings, you get it down to 10 minutes per listing. And in 2 hours, you've got way more listings. You got like 12 listings up because of the fact that you got organized in how you do listings. You do the keyword research in advance, or you do it in real time, but you have a tool that does it very quickly for you, maybe an app on your phone. You take your pictures and you begin the process of creating that listing. You already have in mind what you're going to ship it for, or what the estimated shipping might be for the item. Maybe you sell the same thing over and over again, so that process is so much faster, and you move from selling a variety of different products to more focused products, changing your model just a little bit, so that way you don't have to struggle for each individual listing. You resell some of the same things over and over again. Maybe it's a rotation of 20 or 40 products, and that's what you stick with, and it becomes more of a niche type of situation for you. Time blocks is dedicated time in which you're going to be committed to doing these things. And so there's going to be things that's going to be on this routine or schedule where you're going to say, this is my dedicated time block for whatever, whether it's my dedicated time block to go exercise or my dedicated time block to create listings. This is the time in which I'm saying I'm committed to this activity. And my goal is to not let anything use this time that's not related or bleed into this time that's not related. Unless there's an emergency, then you don't have any control. Creating a checklist or a to-do list for some people, time blocks is just too stringent. And so you might turn an activity into, or multiple activities into, a checklist kind of situation. So if you're saying I'm going to work in my e-commerce business for 2 hours, you need to know what you're doing in those 2 hours. So you can break that 2 hours down and say, I'm going to spend an hour creating listings, or I'm going to spend 30 minutes doing product research and sourcing, and I'm going to spend an hour creating listings, and I'm going to spend 30 minutes with shipments and checking customer service. Like, you might break it down like that. Or you might decide that you're going to actually, create a checklist of the things you want to get done in that hour or 2 hours. And then you work through that checklist as time permits. Now, I will say, focusing on the income producing activities the most will give you the biggest bang for your buck over time. The non-income producing activities, or income generating or income retaining activities, those are not, again, you want to do those things, and I'm sure that they are important, but you need to figure out how much time you're willing to commit to those activities. And then think about SMART goals. Some of them will become SMART goals as you do this brain dump. Some of the activities will become a SMART goal, something that is specific, measurable, attainable, or achievable, relative or related, timely or time bound. An example might be, your goal is to create 100 new listings every single week. Okay. So you'll know whether or not you're doing that by your activities that you're engaging in every single day. If your goal is 100 listings every single week, and you decide you're going to work Monday through Friday, and you're not going to work on Saturday and Sunday creating listings, then you know, just by doing the math, that you need to create 20 listings every single day. 20 times 5 days in a week is 100 listings. Therefore, by the end of the week, you should know whether or not you reached your goal. That's measurable, it's specific, it's potentially attainable. You got to know what your available time is to know whether or not it's attainable or achievable. So saying that you're only going to work in your business for 1 hour every single day and you got to create 20 listings every single day, that might not be realistic. So you want to make sure that you have the right goal based on your correct availability. Now, if you have software, if you have VAs doing the work for you, that's a different conversation. And maybe that is 100% attainable. So these are all things that's going to happen on this journey that you're going to figure out. The next thing is that now that you've kind of done this brain dump of activities and you've kind of thought about which one of these are going to be what, which ones are going to be SMART goals, which ones are going to be whatever. Now we're going to go through and we're going to start filling in that template. We're going to start filling in the blocks on the template. What are we doing on Sundays and what does our Monday look like? And if you want to use columns, that's fine. You can maybe put 2 columns. So one column will be the time of day or the time, and the column next to it will be the day. So put a time block, a time next to Sunday, and then you have the column Sunday, and you start moving stuff from the brain dump spreadsheet over to the template spreadsheet. Same thing with Monday, 2 columns for Monday, 2 columns for Tuesday, 2 columns for Wednesday, and start filling in things from the brain dump. What you're going to find is you're going to have to reorganize that as well over time. Some things are not going to flow, some things will flow, but you want to build in buffers. So if you have a job that's like downtown, you live way out in the burbs, only allowing yourself 15 minutes to get home is not realistic. Like you're going to have to, and if you're putting time blocks in place, you have to think about extra time. It maybe is an hour every single day. You never just really thought about it because you just drive on autopilot, but maybe it's an hour drive every single day. So it's an hour to work and an hour home. So there's drive time that you have to factor into that. And you're not going to be able to start listing as soon as you get home, because once you walk in the door, you got to spend at least 15 minutes with hello to the kids or hello to the pet or hello to your spouse. You got to take the stuff out of your car, unload. Maybe you've been sitting in the car, you got to go use the restroom. Now I'm ready to start working. Or maybe you don't work as soon as you get home and you wait until you've done all of your family obligations and gotten those out the way. And then maybe 2 hours later, or maybe an hour after dinner, then you work in your business. Again, figuring out what the flow is going to be based on your life and how your life is structured and the activities that are involved in your life. Okay. Maybe you got to check homework and schoolwork before you get into working in your business. Check in with the spouse. How are things going? How are they doing? What kind of stress do they have to deal with? Then you can share your stress, like however your relationship works. Okay. And maybe you're a person that has to run errands every single Monday, but you never really noticed that before until you actually started building the schedule around it. So now that you've kind of built a brain dump around the template, you've done taken the brain dump, moved it into a template. Now you've kind of pulled this together. Whatever you build will probably be something you'll test drive for a couple of weeks, and then you'll go to the real thing that you're going to keep long term. You may have multiple versions of this template. I have 4 versions of my template. And so the reason I do is because I have one template that I follow for Q4. I have another one that I follow when my kids are out of school. I have one that I follow when my kids are in school. And I have one that I follow when my son is running track. They're all different templates. Okay. So once you've built that, now you're going to use the template to do the actual. So let's talk about what you're actually going to be doing next week. The actual is when you say that you're listing, what are you going to be listing? Are you going to start listing, you're going to continue to list Christmas stuff or gift related stuff? Are you going to list New Year's stuff? Are you going to list January items? Are you actually going to list Valentine's Day items? What are you listing? When you say that you're doing product research, what are you doing product research on? Are you doing product research on Valentine's Day? Are you doing product research on St. Patty's Day? What product research are you doing? Even if you're like doing print on demand or you're doing drop shipping, like there's some level of product research or listing research or keyword research that has to be done. So what are you doing research on? Same thing with sourcing. So sourcing, What are you going to be sourcing? If you say that you're engaging in a sourcing related activity, what are you going to be sourcing, or where are you going to be sourcing? Maybe on Mondays you go to Walmart, Tuesdays you go to Big Lots, Wednesdays you go to your local grocery store, maybe your HEB, Thursdays you go to the Dollar Tree, Fridays you go to the 99-cent store. Like, where are you going to be sourcing? Okay. And potentially, what are you going to be sourcing? I'm going to be sourcing New Year stuff from Party City. I'm going to be sourcing, Valentine's Day stuff from blah, blah, blah. Whatever it happens to be, where am I sourcing and what am I sourcing? So you're putting in the specifics, so it's not a vague activity. That's your actual schedule. You don't want it to be vague. You want it to be as detailed as possible. As you are beginning the process of taking this template and cloning it to fill in the what for each one of the business related stuff, and also the what for maybe your personal. Maybe you're reading the Bible in a year, and so you want to make sure that Monday I've gotten through Genesis and Tuesday I've gotten through, and you continue down the path of what you're going to be doing. This is the what, because you've already got committed time to reading the Bible on a daily basis. All right. Another one would be exercise. So you're saying your generic activity is exercising. Okay. The specific activity around exercising might be on Monday, you do upper body. On Tuesday, you do abs. On Wednesday, you do lower body. On Thursday, you do cardio. Like, what are you doing? Okay. So the what matters. And you use the template to build the generic outline, and you use the actual to fill in the what. Okay. So you're going to go through that activity of building your actual schedule for next week. Okay. That's your goal, is to get through the actual schedule for next week. And then as you build in or fill in the actual schedule, some other things to consider. Next week is going to be the start of a new month. So you still have a few more days, 4 more days to wrap up November. You got November goals you need to meet, and then you're going to be building December goals. What are your priorities? What are the things that really need to happen in the last couple of days of November that are extremely important? What are those priorities that you need to define that need to happen next week? And then number 3, what are the habits that you're working on tracking? You're not habit tracking everything. There's going to be specific things that you are habit tracking. What are they? And what are those habits that you're going to be working on tracking? You want to incorporate that into your actual for next week, the actual schedule that you're building. That way you have the opportunity to create a schedule that's extremely inclusive and that's going to help you to be successful on this journey. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use this on your e-commerce journey. Please share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the daily eCom, the weekly eCom, and the monthly eCom planning sessions. Tomorrow we will be doing the monthly, and yes, we will be on time. It is, when I say on time, it's 7:30 in the morning. So we're going to get through the monthly in the morning if you want to plug in or you want to come back and listen to the replay. Share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the planning sessions, and join us tomorrow as we go through the monthly ecom planning session, which is a completely different way of looking at your schedule. All right. All right. So my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that is you, I am here for you. Please feel free to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session there. If you haven't already done so, get the 2023 My eCom Planner. Again, it's created for sellers by sellers. You can go to myecomplanner.com to grab the 2023 eCom Planner. And if you need some support on your e-commerce journey, feel free to join eCom Sellers Academy. And if you sign up for the lifetime, you will get a free 2023 eCom Planner. And with that, I hope that you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly profitable day. And we're going to say goodbye for now. Join us on Clubhouse if you want to continue the conversation and talk about your business. Bye, y'all.